Me too. I'm back, man. CJ in his bed. Listen, man. You see I'm smiling? Because you see what's on the screen. You feel me? But, hey, I don't know nothing about this. And first and foremost, I hope y'all doing good. I hope y'all keeping God first. Listen, man. Because we keeping God first. Because look, you see this demon? This is ridiculous. We looking at the origin of Absolute Joker. He's saying this nightmare fuel. Shout out to Comics Explained. I watched some of the Absolute Batman comics, like, series from him. So, I'm pretty up to date. When I seen Batman versus Bane already with Killer Croc and Selena, but yeah, man, like this finna be crazy, man. Shout out to Comics Explained, man. We watching the origins of Absolute Joker. It's nightmare fuel, bro. So with that being said, let's get into it, bro. I'm ready. I'm excited, bro. It's crazy.
Everything you are about to see in this comic book is darker than anything you could possibly imagine. It's just straight up nightmare fuel. It starts off harmless enough and gets insane by the end. So this is the origin of Absolute Joker. Not only that, I got something for you guys at the end of the video. So what this does is this initially kicks off with Alfred, right? And Alfred's basically filling Bruce Wayne in on the nature of Absolute Joker. He says, "It's time, kid. I've put it off as long as I could." And he says, "But I have to tell you about him." And Bruce Wayne responds, right? Like, "I'm ready. So who is he?" Bruce is not ready at all, because Alfred is just like, "That's the funny thing, Bruce. I've been chasing this man for 3 years, and I'm still not even certain what's real and what's fabrication. Some things add up, and some things make no sense at all." And when Bruce asks, like what? The response of Alfred is, he says, "Like his islands. He owns hundreds of these tiny islands all over the world, from the Arctic Ocean to the Tasman Sea, uninhabited and impossible to develop. He says wild, useless places, but he spends billions on them, travels to one or another a few times a year alone." And when Bruce asks why, Alfred says, "That's my point. No one knows. Satellites show..."
To do that wow-ish. To do that crazy stuff that, what I'm saying, you can't do around human beings, because human beings gonna look at you like you evil, like you crazy, like you're sick. That's, you know what I'm saying? That's why he doing that. Why he got them islands, bro. You feel me?
There's nothing on them. He says the theory is he likes to hunt, but he's a mystery, Bruce, the man in white who doesn't laugh, on and on. And so Bruce just says, "Okay then, forget what's true, Pennyworth. Tell me what you believe." Now here's a crazy thing. In the midst of all of this is not Bruce Wayne. This is Absolute Joker showing up on one of these islands. In fact, everything that you're going to see here is him. And so in that moment, Alfred says it all starts here with one of the first films ever recorded, maybe the actual first, in 1888, the same year as the Prince's The Roundhay Garden scene. And Bruce asks, right, "Who am I looking at?" And Alfred says, "His great-grandfather." And Bruce is like, "The guy in the top hat." And Alfred says, "No, in the makeup, the boy, the clown, Joseph Grimm the First, Jack." The story is he grew up an orphan on the streets of Gotham and made his living as a street performer. They say he was good too, the best around. They said you could hear the laughter for blocks and blocks, though he himself never so much as chuckled. His reputation grew. He brought his clown act to vaudeville, took the money from that and invested it in his own theater called Just Kidding, which of course JK is short for that. And he says from there, he invested in silent pictures, funded some big ones. Competition was fierce, but Jack always prevailed by, according to those around him, making people laugh loudest. By 40, he had made a fortune and become a member of Gotham's finest gentlemen's clubs, the Five Gates Club, the Slaughter Select, and so on. It's said that he, Andrew Mellon, John Rockefeller, and old Andrew Carnegie had their own Thursday salon devoted to funding the health and progress of the public. Still, he was never one for the spotlight himself. There are almost no photos of him, no interviews, barely any records at all. In fact, he exists mostly in the shows he produced and the charity, Jack was a major philanthropist. That much is documented, though you won't see his name on anything. A wing of Gotham Met, the Gotham Met, Gotham University. He was especially devoted to children's causes, which made sense given his own rough childhood. Live like a clown, leave the world with more laughter than when you entered. That was the reported motto. Jack died in 1938, according to records, and is buried in a family crypt here in the city. And he says Jack's legacy lived on in his son, Jack Jr., who had taken over the family business in the 1920s and expanded it. Like his father, Jack Grimm II invested in entertainment that would bring laughter to the world, eventually becoming one of the early financiers of television. He created a bunch of subsidiaries of Just Kidding, all named after famous clowns and jesters, Fox, Pierrot, and the list goes on. And like his father, he stayed committed to philanthropic pursuits, especially those for children. He opened homes for children across the country. By the 1960s, Junior's son, Jack Grimm.
And I know y'all think, I'm gonna let it play. But I know y'all thinking like, yeah, he opened up for kids. He opened, you know what I'm saying? What he doing good for kids. No, bro. These people who like kids, bro, not all, but listen, bro. But the folks who be surrounded themselves by kids, bro, rich people who be with these children, y'all gonna see. Cause me and my coworkers be talking about this at work. Joker, the absolute Joker was talking about it. He was telling me like some of the stuff that was happening to, and he was like, "You gotta look at it." And he was telling me about like some stuff, bro. Look, bro, y'all gonna see about them kids.
Third was the central figure of Just Kidding, starting one of the first cable network companies devoted primarily to comedies, children's shows. Jack III was a major funder of public broadcasting. Jack Grimm IV was born sometime in the late 1970s and took the company into gaming systems. He also expanded Just Kidding's philanthropy to global causes, which finally brings us to our Jack, Jack Grimm V. Young, smart, and by far the most successful. He was one of the first investors in online gaming platforms, the hardware and software, and a primary backer in GPUs, the chips that the entire world runs on, and he approaches trillionaire status. Jack V has vastly widened Just Kidding's charitable initiatives, international literacy programs, peace organizations, medicine, and aid drops. To those who know him, he is lauded and loved. And so Bruce asks, where is it? And Alfred says, where's what? And Bruce says, where's the smoking gun, Pennyworth? What's so scary about this guy? And Alfred just says, on paper, nothing is so scary about him. Just the opposite. He's the fifth chapter in a story about a family that has made its fortune by embracing that very first love, the clown, helping Americans and people around the world smile and laugh. Sure, he's eccentric, Jack is, likes to go hunt big game alone on remote islands, but all billionaires are eccentric, right? And he says he's a classic American success story. And so Bruce just says, I didn't ask you for the story, Pennyworth. I asked you what you believe. So focusing on this island where absolute Joker is just going through and killing, some animals, there's a speech bubble that's almost a murmur from a guy off the panel. And Alfred just says, okay, kid, but for that, we have to go back to the start. He says, to that boy in the alley, back to the clown. So we're actually going to circle back to this a couple more times, because he says young Jack Grimm often performed outside a dentist's office. In the 1880s, they'd only just introduced nitrous oxide to dentistry, laughing gas, and Jack would sneak in, leak the gas into the alley, make them laugh, sure, but also make them suggestible, as nitrous does exactly that. So they'd give him all of their money. That act was a trick, a sleight of hand, no different from when Jack Sr. funded his own rivals in vaudeville and in film, playing one side against the other. And that's what my research has found about the Grimm family. They've always played both sides. For a century and a half, these men have invested in one endeavor and its counter. It extends beyond entertainment to all aspects of life. They even fund the war effort and theirs through subsidiaries, all their clown-named companies. The Grimm fund right-leaning news networks and left-leaning ones. They fund the aid and the warlords who steal it. Peace and war, the crimes and the prison. Arc M. They might be the most powerful crime family in history, playing everyone against each other, profiting off the chaos they sow, loyal to no country, no principle, nothing but power. And
That sound like the government, bruh. Like, that's crazy. Like, these folks sound like the first rich people in the world, or like some of the first richest, biggest people in the world, bro. That's what this sound like. Like, it's insane. And then it's from generations, it's 5 generations. It's crazy.
Bruce asks, right, but why? How much is enough? And Alfred says, I always come back to that motto, live like a clown. A clown plays the fool while making a fool of everyone else. He's a mastermind,
True.
a schemer. All the gold in the world is not enough. Nothing's enough. And that's when you switch over to what's basically this makeshift hut on this island where Joker's running around going after seemingly somebody. And he just asks, right, hello, is anybody home? And that's where Alfred says, now you know. That's the report that I sent to my superiors at MI6. And that's when you switch over to this old man who kind of comes out by the water, and it's just like, is somebody there? And he says, oh, thank God. I've been trapped on this island alone for nearly 30 years. I don't know how I got here. And that's when he realizes it's Joker. And he's just like, how? Right? And Joker just says, run. And the guy just flees for his life, right? He just takes off running as fast as he possibly can. But that's the genius about all this, right? The idea that the Grimm family plays both sides against the other. It's like the idea of the Great Gold Rush. Sure, like you may prospect and you might make gold, but the people who really made money in all of that are the ones who were selling the shovels and the pickaxes, right? Playing both sides is the only way to win in a world like this, in the absolute universe. And so that's where Bruce tells Alfred, I don't care what you reported to your superiors, Pennyworth. What do you believe? And Alfred tries to shrug it off, right? He's just kind of like, yeah, I don't know if I want to talk about that. And Bruce just says, tell me. And so Alfred says, okay, Bruce, but it might sound a little crazy. And he says, we go back to that alley one more time, to the clown. Because what I found when I dug deeper was that many of the people laughing in that film died soon after it was shot, twisted in pain, grinning, a kind of strychnine poisoning, one of the few toxins that can be absorbed through the skin, like maybe upon shaking the gloved hand of a small boy. And he says, lots of people who encountered the Grimms over the years came to mysterious bad ends, jumping off bridges, boats, vanishing, business rivals, politicians, reporters. In the 90s, an associate of mine at the FBI, Harvey Harris, began an investigation and died in a boat accident. And so Bruce asks him, right, like, what are you saying? And the response of Alfred is he says, I'm saying there's a darker project, Bruce. I have records of Grimm investments in some of the deadliest inventions of the last 100 years, from the atom bomb to bioweapons, viruses. There's records of them laughing, Bruce, the Grimm 10 at the test, only then. And so while Absolute Joker is chasing down this guy on an island, making sport of him, almost like the story of The Most Dangerous Game, Bruce asks Alfred, what are you getting at, right? Say it. And in fact, Bruce is going to get more and more frustrated as this goes on, because Alfred says, what if those islands are where he puts them, his enemies? What if he just leaves them there for years until he feels like going after them? And where he initially tries to stop the conversation, Bruce says, keep going. What do you believe? And Alfred says, I believe he uses the children, Bruce. At first, he used the ones in the orphanage, and now he uses something else. He's found some way, I don't know.
What I told you. Look at this shit. Bro, this is insane. What I said. Look at this. This is insane. And it's like, I'm surprised, but I'm not. Like, it's crazy because I see it for myself. But my homie, one of my coworkers was telling me this was happening, bro. And to see it for myself, bro, it's crazy. He got children, bro. That's like evil, bro. Like, do you understand how like, bro, it's demonic, bro. Like, it's crazy. What the hell? Look at this. That's crazy.
Using their cells, using the research done at his arcs, some terrible elixir. And so Bruce asks, like, go on, Pennyworth, who is he? And Alfred says, the clown, Bruce. what is a clown? Its whole act is a cruel mockery of us, of humanity, as bumbling and stupid. The clown hates us. You find stories in myth, legends, from ancient times to now. The Pagliacci, the Joker, who burns the kingdom in Bal de Sauvage, the one who convinces us to kill each other, even as he himself preys on us. The clown is death. And so again, Alfred is hesitant, but that's where you start to get into the dark and twisted side of this, because Absolute Joker's chasing this guy down on the island, and then he starts to transform, right? He just says, like, I'm coming for you, and the guy starts freaking out, and he just kind of says, huh, right? He doesn't even really laugh in any meaningful way. And so while Alfred's just kind of dancing around this whole thing, Bruce is like, stop dancing around it. And he's like, say it, right? What do you believe? And that's where Alfred says, I believe that there is no Grimm family, all right? I believe there's no Jack the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 5th. There's only ever been one Jack Grimm, and
he's a skinwalker. He been using the babies, bro. He been using the kids to stay young. Or like he been using like to switch bodies. He's a Orochimaru, cuz. This man is Orochimaru. Ain't no way. There's no way, bro. He using the baby blood to stay young, bro. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. That shit is crazy. It's like sad, like, wow, it's crazy. Them poor kids, man. He's using those poor kids, bro, to live, to replenish, and like he's really that. That's insane.
Him. That maybe it's just his infernal science. Maybe it's some dark pact. I don't know. Like maybe it's both. And I know how it sounds, kid. I know. But I look at him and he is something terrible, Bruce. A nightmare thing that stalks the earth. Not a man who never laughs at anything, but a beast that's always laughing at us. The one whose laughter we only hear when it's
the ad want to come in, bro. Soon as we about to get to the face reveal. Look at this. Look at his face. We barely see it. Look at his face.
Late. And so Bruce asks, who is he? And the response of Alfred,
bro,
he's the...
Oh my gosh. Bro, what the hell is that? Oh, no, bro. Nah, bro. Batman sound like me. I be want to know, like, what is it? You know, get to the point. Like, get straight to it. Like, I be want to know, what the hell is it? Bro, do you see this? Look at this. Nah, bro. Nah. Batman, bro, just wrap it up, bro. You had a great one with Bane, you know, but it's okay, bro, to admit that, you know, you're in over your head. It's okay. Everybody, you know, don't let your ego and pride get the best of you, Batman. It's okay, bro. You're just a regular guy from Gotham, and it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I will completely understand. I'm not fighting that shit, bro. Like, come on now, look at this shit. Look at this long-tongued demon 10-row of teeth. Like, look at this thing. It's like it wants to devour you. Oh my gosh.
Joker. And so literally the Joker transforms into just this massive beastly monster, the likes of which I have never seen. I told you, man, this story is nightmare fuel. There's a reason why Jock drew it, man, because Jock knows how to draw nightmare fuel. And if you don't believe me, go read Scott Snyder and Jock's story, Witches. Dude, that story's phenomenal, and it's the same thing. And so basically, Bruce Wayne just says, I've heard enough. And where Alfred tries to stop him, he says, no, right? I have to go check on Waylon. And so Alfred's just kind of like, I understand, but be careful out there, kid. And so Alfred just kind of muses to himself, right? He says, nicely done, old fool. He didn't sign up for this. Sure, he wanted a fight, to punch back, to scream. But this, in just the last year, the world has cracked itself open and revealed its true face to him. all of its monsters. Monsters everywhere he looks. And he says, the other night, I found him watching a story about a woman in Gateway City who claims to be magic, some kind of god warrior from hell. Of course, that's referencing Absolute Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And he says, to his credit, he just keeps on. He pushes forward. But did you really tell him about Grimm for his own sake? No, you told him because you couldn't live with it anymore. Because deep down, you are a coward. Of course, Alfred's talking to himself here, and he says, just yesterday, a report put Grimm on one of his islands off the coast of Colombia, but you couldn't let it alone. Even with Grimm 3,000 miles away from Gotham. But it turns out he's not 3,000 miles away from Gotham. The Joker is here. He shows up at his home, and here is where it gets crazy, because up until this point in time, we don't really know anything about him. We've never learned anything about Absolute Joker. But notice this. He lives in a gigantic fortress, a castle, right? This huge manor.
Bro, y'all see how he looked? Like, he looked like two different people, bro. You know, like, from what they showed us in pictures and little sneak peeks and just, you know, little things that they were showing us, bro. Like, what's the word I'm looking for? Teasers. Like, they teasing us to him, like teaser pictures and video and stuff like that, bro. He looked like two different people. Like, he had like a baby face. You know what I'm saying? Now he looked like a whole different Joker, like a whole different person, bro. He's switching like bodies, like he's something, bro. If y'all know about like skinwalkers or something like that, then y'all know, bro. Like, this stuff is not too far-fetched, bro, in the real world.
It's inside, he has a butler. The butler says, welcome back to the manor, Mr. Grimm. It's so nice to finally have you home. Are you hungry? And he says, no, I just ate. Of course, he ate the guy on the island.
The human.
And he says, I have plans to make, though. So if you need me, I will be in the cave. He basically has the Joker's version of the Batcave.
Yeah.
So the question that I have to ask for you guys is, what's this called? Is it like the Joker Cave? Right? Like, what would you guys call this? But with that being said, guys,
hell.
We're going to bring this to an end.
That's what we're going to call it. We're going to call it hell. The Joker version of the Batcave, hell. He's going to hell right now. Look at it. It's red. And, man, shouts out to Common Six Playing, man. That was a great video. We're going to like that one, man. We're going to like that one, bro. That's insane. That's the video. But, bro, I'm so blown, bro. Like, this comic is unfolding in an insane way, in a crazy ass way, bro. He ate this man. He killed the animals on the way to look for that man, ate him, and turned back into that. Turned back into a human. Look like just a regular human, bro. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Yeah, man. That's the end of the video, bro. That's the end of the video, man. It's like, I'm hyped, bro. My mind is blown right now, bro. I don't know what to say. It's crazy. Like, I don't want to get off the topic, but I'm gonna have to. Y'all boys have a great one, man. Y'all be safe, man. Y'all like the video, comment, subscribe, bro. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all want to see, man. It's getting dark. I had to run errands earlier today, so this might be the only video for Friday. But tomorrow, bro, I'm gonna try to get 3 out. I'm gonna tackle it. I'm gonna tackle these videos early tomorrow. I'm gonna try to drop this tonight. I'm finna go in there, edit it, and get it out the way. I'm gonna drop it tonight. But yeah, bro. Yeah, Absolute Joker. Y'all can handle that one. Y'all can deal with him by yourself, man. I'm gonna watch from inside the house, out the window, and yeah, see what he do to y'all lives, bro. Y'all be safe. Cover your ass, man. Joker out here, man. Deuce.